This movie review contains a discussion about sex and sexuality and may be inappropriate for some viewers. Therefore, viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another movie review. I am happy that you can join me today. Babygirl is one of the movies that came out in theaters on Christmas that I wanted to see, and I finally saw it this past weekend. It stars Nicole Kidman, Antonio Banderas, and Harris Dickinson. It was directed by Helena Rain. This is her fourth feature film, according to my online search. I never heard of her prior to this film. It premiered at the Venice International Film Festival on August 30th. It is considered to be an erotic thriller, and the running time is a little under 2 hours. If you did not see the movie yet, I promise to keep this movie review spoiler free, and I won't tell you how it ends. All I will say is watch the movie for yourself and let's open up a conversation. The movie takes place in New York City. Nicole Kidman plays Romy. Antonio Banderas plays her husband Jacob. And you find out they have been married for a long time and they have two teenage daughters. They have a home in the city, they have a home in the suburbs, so life is good. Romy and Jacob are still having sex. So you're waiting to see what is wrong, what is the problem. Romy is the CEO of a tech company, and on her way to work one day, she sees a dog out in the street getting out of control. And the dog runs towards her, and Romy is scared that the dog is going to attack her. A stranger stops the dog and keeps the situation under control. You find out that the stranger is Samuel, played by Harris Dickinson, and he's one of the new interns Romy's company hired. So before Romy officially meets him, she is attracted to him because of the dog incident. Samuel notices her after he calms down the dog. So after they officially meet, the sexual attraction is clearly in the air, and Romy gets upset when Samuel oversteps his boundaries. But eventually they have an affair. One of the problems that come up as soon as the affair starts is, what do we call this? Samuel knows Romy is married. He does not care, and he makes it clear that he is now looking for a girlfriend. Romy doesn't know what to call it either. But she is married. She is the older woman. Samuel is the younger man. She is the boss. He is the intern. It's an affair. And at first, you see the power dynamics of the relationship. At work, she is in charge. But when they have their affair, Samuel is in charge, and she follows his lead. At first, she resists Samuel's invitation, and she gives in because she is attracted to him. But we still don't know why she continues the affair until there is a scene between her and Jacob. Jacob initiates sex, and she stops and goes berserk and blurts out that she has never orgasmed when they have sex. So now I am thinking, okay, now we are getting to the root of the problem. Romy seems to be more sexually compatible with Samuel than with her own husband. Samuel is able to figure her out. There are times when Samuel seems to be more emotionally intelligent than Jacob, even though Sam is the younger man in this triangle. You would think the older a person gets, the more emotionally intelligent they become, but that's not always the case. Romy has a hard time talking about what her sexual needs are because she doesn't want to hurt Jacob's feelings, and Samuel knows how to meet her needs before she's even aware of it. So after the movie was over and I was on my way home, I went on Rotten Tomatoes. I usually don't go on Rotten Tomatoes because sometimes I am able to see an advanced screening of a movie. Sometimes I see a movie on opening day. Um, at times I have issues with Rotten Tomatoes. So I went on Rotten Tomatoes to see what other critics thought, what other moviegoers thought, because I did not hear an Oscar buzz around Babygirl. The critics gave it an average score of 78%. The moviegoers gave it an average score of 50%. And I don't understand why. I'm going to be honest. My initial reaction that I had while I was watching the closing credits was, to me, this is one of the best films of the year. And I was not expecting to say that because for the past 20 plus years, the popular erotic films, the popular erotic thrillers that came out leaned more towards popcorn movies, fantasies. They did well at the box office and they were fun to watch. Therefore, I give Babygirl 5 out of 5 stars. And it's a score, a grade that I don't give out very often because most films don't deserve 5 out of 5 stars. A 5-star movie is rare. And the reason why the Rotten Tomato scores really bother me is how people felt about Poor Things. How people felt about Poor Things is how I feel about Babygirl. Now, I didn't write and record a review for Poor Things. I wrote and recorded a post Oscars video in which I explained why I thought the 2024 Oscars was one of the worst, in my opinion. And you can watch that movie, you can watch that video if you want. It is still available on the Nightglow channel on YouTube. But I mentioned that I was upset that Poor Things got 11 nominations. Emma Stone won another Oscar for the movie, and I was upset that critics called Poor Things a feminist movie. It bothered me that people cannot differentiate between eroticism and porn. I did not see Poor Things as a feminist movie. However, I see Babygirl as a feminist movie, and the sex scenes were erotic in nature, not pornographic. I think Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson deserve Oscar nominations. I understand Babygirl. I don't understand Poor Things. A lot of critics and moviegoers point out the power dynamics between Romy and Samuel, but when Romy lashes out at Jacob and says, I have never orgasmed when I am with you, and then she feels guilty for saying it, and when Jacob asks her in the next scene, did you really mean what you said? And she says no, you can tell that she's lying, because like I said, she loves Jacob and she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. That sequence of events opens up a frank conversation about sex. When you watch the scene where Romy and Samuel are talking about setting up some rules, and Samuel says to Romy that he needs her to consent, that when they are together, he is in charge, and she does what he says. I am thinking, how many movies you know in which there is a realistic, straightforward conversation about sex and what a woman needs in order for her to orgasm? This movie can be considered a feminist movie because the point of view we get is Romy's point of view. She is the only protagonist. From what I saw, I don't know if Jacob at any time suspected that Romy has changed and if he ever thought she was acting weird. Because women know based on instinct alone if a man is cheating. I am wondering, did Jacob suspect anything? Also, I don't know why Samuel is having the affair and what he is getting out of it personally. We see Romy living her life outside of the affair. I saw the movie once, so I don't recall seeing Samuel's life outside of the affair and the office. But you see Romy's life outside of the affair, and there are scenes where Samuel invites himself into her private world. So it's a feminist movie because you don't lose Romy's point of view, and Samuel is a mystery for the most part, and the mystery of him really hits at the end of the movie. Romy and Samuel are complex characters, so Babygirl is an excellent character study from one perspective. Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson do great jobs in this movie. I really don't see a flaw in this movie. The brilliance of the film lies in what you see and what you don't see. It's a feminist movie because of what you see and what you don't see. For example, going back to Samuel being a mystery, we never see where he lives. And someone's personal home environment reveals character. That also creates questions for me. Is Romy not interested in getting to know Samuel on a deeper level or get to know his background? Did Samuel not invite Romy to his place? The movie doesn't answer those questions, but maybe the director doesn't care to answer those questions. But there is a scene where they spend the evening together at a posh hotel suite, and you see why Romy is participating in the affair. Samuel takes his time during foreplay. They don't spend all of their time having sex. And after they have sex, Samuel is still awake, Romy is still awake, and they have an intimate conversation where they give each other their undivided attention. They are both present and open and vulnerable in the moment. Whereas when Romy and Jacob are in bed, Romy is on her phone. There is more to intimacy than sex, and not every woman is going to achieve orgasm by just having regular sex in the missionary position. So you have to ask yourself why having sex with Jacob seems like a routine, even though he is handsome and sexy, but having sex with Samuel is a variety of experiences. What does that say about Romy? What does that say about women's sexuality? And the fact that we finally get a break from the male gaze is more of a reason why this film is refreshing. The movie at times seems poetic because you realize that when you are watching a movie made by a brilliant director, everything in the movie is there on purpose. So when I think about the dog incident and how Samuel is able to tame the dog, and that is what attracted Romy to him, not his good looks. It reminded me of a conversation on social media where someone asked the question, if you are a woman, would you rather be alone in the forest with a man or a bear? And more women chose the bear than the man. And women had a variety of reasons why they chose the bear. I choose the bear because it's predictable. The man is an unpredictable predator. And so the dog scene is probably implying that even though the modern world forces women to live a big part of their waking lives in their masculine side, because it is a man's world, in order to get ahead, you have to be in touch with your masculine side. It does not erase the fact that women want a man who allows them to be feminine and make them feel safe, and they are attracted to men who are protectors, not predators. And that is a big issue in the modern world right now. Too many men are behaving like predators instead of protectors. So this review is long enough, and I will stop here. But as always, thank you for watching. If you saw Babygirl, let me know what you thought of it. I would love to hear from people. Let's open up a conversation about this movie. Until then, I will see you next time with another movie review. Until then, take care and have fun at the movies.